now let's start our first session with social impact showcases. First of all, I would like to invite Mr. Amit Saha from Fox Global Research and Consultancy Center to start your presentation with the topic Global Dairy Farm Tech Innovations Optimizing for Local Social Impact. Thank you.
Thank you, Sven, for inviting me. Let me share my PPT. Is it visible?
Yeah, thank you so much. We can see your screen now.
Okay, fine. Okay, first of all, again, thanks a lot for this initiative to Cambria, and my congratulations. It is very much needed in today's society. And first of all, a very good morning, afternoon, or evening, depending on where you are from the globe. So today my topic is Global Dairy Farm Tech Innovations Optimizing for Local Social Impact. Just a small background about me. So I will start with the outline, like what my company is doing, and then we will talk about the reason why we are working in this sector, and then we'll have a case study because I am into the dairy sector. So we'll look into how the dairy sector, the impact of innovations, and how you can use the digital technologies for strategy selection for a sustainable social impact. And finally, what could be the prospective role of SIIA in this process. So about my company, Fox Global. So our aim is to drive towards Atmanirbhar Bharat. So that is a self-sufficient India, which is getting from a developing to a developed world, a developed country in the next 25 years. So we'll be completing 100 years of our independence in 2047. So in that regard, so Fox Global is actually Frontiers of Grassroots Sustainability Global, and it's a research and consultancy center. We established in 2021. And our vision is to bring about a sustainable transformation in the global food and health livelihood systems through the use of frontier technologies. And for this, our mission is to identify those technologies which are at the grassroots level and can be implemented sustainably at the local level. So keeping that in mind, because my expertise in dairy is for more than 20 years globally, I have been working in different organizations across the world. And so I have been perplexed by the differences in technology, in the wealth distribution, and in the inequity that is there in the dairy world. And so I initiated that how can we bring a sustainable transformation through this initiative. And also I have into the fresh herbal services. So that is because somehow the food is linked in that regard. So we are also into the fresh herbs development of models. Now coming to the clear issue, like what I mean by global divide. So the global divide is in the three aspects: the income distribution, wealth, and productivity across the world. So if you can see in this slide, this is from the IMF, that there is a huge disparity in the wealth distribution. So you can find the GDP per capita varying from 2.7 million euro per capita to less than 300 euros. And the surprising fact is that 1% of the population in the world is accounting for 40% of the wealth. This is as per the IMF data. So this huge disparity inequality in the wealth distribution, I feel, is mainly because of the access to innovation, technology, and mechanization that has led to this kind of situation. Though we are living in one world, so there is such a huge disparity. And also, if you see the Sustainable Development Goals, and this is one of the priority to reduce inequalities. So keeping that in mind, mine is a non-profit venture to bring about social change, because unless we take some initiatives, just like what SIIA is doing, we cannot bring a change in the very near future. So that's why we like-minded people need to come together and work in that cause. So since I have a background in dairy for over 20 years, so I selected the dairy sector. Of course, this could be applicable in other sector as well. So let's look into a case study where we can see how sustainable strategies can bring about an equitable world in the dairy sector. So when we talk about dairy farming systems across the world, my motive is not to compare dairy farming systems, which is better or not, but how we can develop the sustainable strategies at a local level using the global data, knowledge, and inspiration. So before we are able to compare, we need to set benchmarks. So if you see the sustainable dimensions, there are mainly 4 dimensions. So one is the economic sustainability. So we have some indicators there. Then you have social sustainability, lifestyle, and health sustainability. So now you can see that since I am a member of the IFC and Dairy Network, we have access to data for dairy farms across the world. So here you have farms from India, 4 cow in Gujarat, from Germany, from US and New Zealand. So it is possible to compare these farms. So that is the first step of understanding what is the differences in those farming systems. And then we find that there is a big difference in the social inequity in terms of labor productivity, the wage level, and the parity farm income. And this difference is huge. And that is the prime reason we find that economic divide that I showed in the first slide of from IMF. Like basically is productivity that is driving this wealth distribution. So how can we bring that change? So the first step is to benchmark these farms and understand where we can improve upon. So here you can find these 2 farms. I have compared 300 cow farm in India and a 500 cow farm in Wisconsin. And this is the frontier level and what is the potential to improve these farm types in each of these sustainability dimension. So that is one area that I'm working upon. The second is strategy selection. How can you select the sustainable strategies for the farm development in the future? So for that, we have developed a system called the Dairy Impact Assessment System in our organization, wherein it is a 3I approach, where the first step is to identify the local technologies that are existing in the area, and then determine what is the impact of these technologies. And finally, with the stakeholders, we implement these technologies. And it follows a 10-step process where we assess the resources and how these resources are managed, and then it goes in a cycle so that it's a cyclic process of review and development. So just to give you a case study, how we saw that a 4 cow farm in India can improve its farm income by implementing our methodology. So by analyzing this farm, we found that the labor productivity in this farm is very low if you compare with the global standards. Like labor productivity is just 1% of the New Zealand 384 cow farm. The herd productivity as well is very low, 1/3 to 1/4 of that. And farm income is just 1% of a New Zealand farm. So what can we do at the local level? So we thought of 3 technology introductions. So one is milking technology, the second is increasing the herd size, and third is breed selection. And then when we put it in our model, we had 2 steps. First step is how the farmer can increase the herd size from 4 to 10 animals. And the second step is that how you can improve the breed from the local breed to crossbred animals, and then introducing technologies like from hand milking to this kind of bucket machine milking technologies. So, and then using our model, it was possible to see what is the impact. So we can see clear impact in terms of reduction in the cost from by 50% from 29 rupees per kg milk to 20 rupees per kg milk. That has an immediate effect in making the income 4 times higher from 450 to 2000 rupees. So such small steps can bring a very big social impact. And then the only issue is that how do you implement this in the field? And there the role comes of SIIA. So in case of SIIA, in case of dairy, what my proposal is that we have already identified about 500 dairy farm processes that happens in a dairy farm. And each process, there could be more than 500 technologies that is available globally. So we are trying to somehow benchmark all these technologies and then see which technology suits to that particular farm conditions. So for me, that now the role of SIIA comes here, like we could introduce different types of tokens. Like we could have tech tokens, that is the technology tokens in different aspects of the dairy farm, like dairy breeds, animal feeds, dairy machines, different types of models of dairy housing, animal care, veterinary drugs. Similarly, we could have the farm service tokens on different areas. Like what I'm right now doing is farm benchmarking, and then the different aspects of management of the dairy farm. Then another area is very important is education and training of the dairy farmers. So that also is possible nowadays because internet in India, like already 5G technology is available even in the rural side. So very broad stream technology, and you can use that for training in different areas. So that is again a very big aspect for communication with the farmers. So, and to start with, my proposal is that we would have some token ETFs for the different technology aspects. And one is silage making. That is, the silage is the feed that is used for feeding the dairy cows, that improves the dairy yield and productivity. The second is dung processing. From dung, you're making the vermicompost, and which has a higher value in the market. So that also increases the income. And the third area is farm benchmarking, like benchmarking the local farm globally, and then understand where your farm stands. So these are the three areas that I am planning to start my with the token ETFs, that the DO that I'm proposing. And then again, digital technologies like already AI is used a lot in the dairy farms already. So that is another area that we can think of using AI for collecting data and monitoring and evaluation. The other is like how we can bring the different stakeholders. So all these companies which are dealing with the farm inputs, how they can be brought together, and that data sharing, and also I think that is a big area that we need to work upon. And especially I think CI is already specialized in this area, so we could discuss in a separate forum how this could be possible. So finally, our website, if you want to know more about what we are doing, there is a foxglobal.in, wherein we have all these areas in the area of dairy development, especially for milk shed planning and the farm planning. So that is our focus that we are doing. So that's in just a short about what we have planning to start with SIIA the platform. So thank you, and I look forward to any questions that I would be able to answer in this regard. Thanks a lot. I hope I'm in time.
Okay, yeah, thank you so much. Thank you so much, Mr. Amit Saha, for your dedicated and insightful sharing.